Methoform. Methoform is a holistic management consultancy, a methodological platform for organizational and personal development. The development of new, lean methods and models is the most important core competence. Organizations and individuals are looked after and methodically supported in their further development. In addition to counseling, seminars, workshops, coaching, supervision and lectures are offered. Services are divided into 4 segments: management, guide, psychology, and personality. Products like this poster, but also books, maps, psychological figures, stickers, games, photos, mouse pads and much more expand the broad didactic portfolio. Picture 1.1. MPM in the organization. MPM or multi-project management is used for transparent strategic planning and operational control of programs and projects at the meta level. It includes comprehensive resource management and is closely linked to risk and quality management. In this way, projects can be clearly prioritized and monitored. MPM is also the most important management level in the organization. Together with the control station, it is the interface between strategy and operations. The supervising staff unit, the multi-project manager, is like the first officer on board a ship. He or she is chief of staff. Picture 1.2. Project types. Basically, there are only 2 types of projects: classic and agile projects. Analogously, there is classic and agile project management. In practice, both disciplines usually overlap. In this case, one speaks of hybrid project management. So this third tupus is a mixed up. Such a mixed bag is also the line or process project. It has the task of being able to map line tasks, such as accounting or HR, in the MPM. Because it is important that there are no tasks that are not embedded in projects. This is the only way that all resources can be planned completely and seamlessly within the MPM. Picture 1.3. Project types supplement. 2 other variants of dealing with projects are spontaneous and guerrilla project management. What the 2 variants have in common is that you neither carry out sophisticated planning, as in the classic project, nor work with a heterogeneous team, as in Agile. The difference is that in a highly flexible environment this does not have to be necessary at all, since any number of resources are spontaneously available. Various resources can be accessed spontaneously without having to be warned in advance. None of this is the case in guerrilla project management. Therefore, projects of this kind almost always fail. About 60% of all worldwide projects are such guerrilla projects. Picture 1.4. Competence shares. The tasks of an organization can be divided into 4 areas. Red, external projects. Benefits for a customer who thanks them financially, or for citizens who become happier as a result. Yellow, regular tasks within processes. These processes are part of process projects. Red and yellow generate energy. Green, internal projects. They serve to optimize the organization. This includes the introduction of new IT systems as well as structural dismantling in favor of lean processes. Orange stands for the tower at the airport. Nothing would work without him. No plane could land, park, be refueled, or take off. This is the meta level of multi-project management. The multi-project management platform is therefore the airport for all projects, regardless of whether they are cargo planes, scheduled flights or emergency helicopters. Picture 1.5. Organization embedding. Multi-project management is preferably embedded as a staff position. This is quickly becoming a full-time role. The MPM is seamlessly and inextricably linked to resource management. The MPM staff unit can be expanded into a team if the number of parallel projects increases. All of the organization's projects report to the MPM. MPM aggregates the data for the decision-making level of the organization. In the event of resource conflicts, decision templates are added. Decisions in the opposite direction are distributed to the projects by the MPM. Close cooperation with all other staff units is essential. These primarily include the strategy and risk management departments. Picture 1.6. Introduction. It's important not to be put off by the perceived size of this program. Without MPM, no organization will be able to expand its own potential and ultimately become fully professional. E is particularly important to identify the preventers of MPM. Because MPM is, in abstract terms, a symbol for progress, quality and balance. If these mostly few dysfunctional key figures are exposed and robbed of their negative influence, the introduction of MPM becomes child's play in the truest sense of the word. Each and every individual is required to identify submissive behavior patterns in themselves and to decide on self-determined action. Picture 2.1. Project registration. Regardless of whether it is an external or an internal project, an idea or a tactical maneuver, everything is uniformly channeled, evaluated and scheduled if necessary. An online form is used for uniform registration. A Kanban board records the registrations and ensures a standardized development process for all projects and plans. Once on board, a project moves left to right through the steps of this agile process. The MPM staff office is responsible for the form and board. Picture 2.2. Project importance. In order to decide which project to carry out, the importance of the projects available for selection must be compared. In general, a distinction is made between current and future, i.e., strategic importance. The idea is, survive now and survive tomorrow too. This manifests itself in different ways depending on the industry. This is how business is about investment and profit. In administration, citizens and laws play the decisive role. A project portfolio or multi-project management portfolio is used for the visual representation of project assessments. Best practice is a 5x5 matrix into which the projects are sorted. Different shapes, sizes and colors of markers can be used for additional project features. Picture 2.3. Prioritization. The MPM process prioritizes at 2 points. First, when selecting projects for implementation. Secondly, for prioritizing ongoing projects. The difference is that projects with high importance but low risk are preferred for the selection, because they cause fewer problems. In ongoing operations, on the other hand, high-risk projects have the highest priority because they require the greatest attention. For prioritization in the context of project selection, the strategic importance is multiplied by the monetary importance. Furthermore, a product can be formed with the project class, with an A project corresponding to 2 points and a D project to 5 points. For ongoing projects, the strategic importance is also multiplied by the monetary one. Here, too, the product can be formed with the project class. An A project now receives 4 points and a D project 1. It is advisable to also include the content progress for ongoing projects. This is done in 20% increments. 1 point means the project has made up to 20% progress. 5 points mean the project is as good as finished. The maximum significance of 625 points can thus be achieved. Picture 2.4. Pairwise comparison. Another way to prioritize projects is to compare projects in pairs. The complexity of this procedure is very small. If a project is more important than another, it gets a point. All points of a project are added up and form a priority number. The higher the number, the more important the project. Picture 2.5. Scheduling. The planning of projects begins with their priority determination in the project portfolio. Here, meaning comes before risk. After planning the most important project, a check is made as to when sufficient resource capacity will be available again to plan the next most important project. The Gantt chart is used to visualize the planned projects. To prevent opportunism, a sequencing of projects is an advantage. Class-dependent tracks can be defined for smooth parallelization of projects. In this case, A and B projects can run parallel to each other. By distributing it to different days of the week, overloads are avoided. Picture 2.6. Control Station. The Multi-Project Management Control Center is operated by the MPM, i.e., by the Multi-Project Management Department. A simple control station consists of only 3 displays. Less is usually more here. The project portfolio offers a quick overview of all ongoing projects. You can see their importance, type, risk class and status. A Gantt chart shows the quarterly planning of the projects. The MPM Kanban board shows which projects are in which stage. The control center is particularly important for the decision-making level in order to reduce incorrect decisions as much as possible through a simple display. Picture 3.1. Forms of resource management. Expression. Resource management is often found in 3 main forms. First, pathological resource management. Real management is missing. As a result, employees are so overburdened that it is a matter of sheer survival. One protects one another in order to survive. Secondly, chaotic resource management. Here, too, there is no structured process. Employees make uninformed decisions about what to work on. Spontaneous tasks create an insurmountable chaos. Third, guided resource management. As the farmer divides his field, calendars are roughly segmented. Structure creates transparency. Picture 3.2. Resource principle. The decentralized resource management is both unusual and ingenious. Employees are responsible for ensuring their capacity utilization. They therefore apply independently for internally advertised projects, according to their skills and availability. Resource management takes on the role of a job portal and intermediary. If projects are postponed, the employees themselves are responsible for adjusting their own workload. This greatly relieves resource management. In central resource management, the same often forms a bottleneck. Project changes quickly trigger avalanches. Only routine and experience, based on strict prioritization, will make the MPM platform a professional core part of the organization. Picture 3.3. Resource planning. The resource planning of classic projects differs significantly from that of agile projects. In the classic project, before the start of the actual project, i.e., the main project, it is determined when who has to do what. If you don't work in one project, then in another. This is called a matrix organization. Planning is difficult because projects usually turn out differently than planned. It's like a living puzzle. It is easier in agile projects. Here all those involved are scheduled to work full-time. Project teams are often retained and handle several projects. A weekday leave is also possible. Picture 3.4. Competencies. The development of resource profiles is important for finding suitable resources. Good and simple structuring plays an important role here. Standardized competence profiles are created for each employee, which can be searched for in a targeted manner. If a project management recognizes a need in the project, a search request is sent to the multi-project management via a desired profile. There you look for available equivalents, convey them to the searching project and reserve the resource against double bookings for the required period plus buffer. A resource overload is thereby avoided. Picture 3.5. Resource pools. In highly developed organizations, vertical structures not only no longer have any meaning. Rather, their devastating potential was recognized. Instead, all employees are assigned to so-called pools. In this way, new projects can be put together quickly and pragmatically. Employees are temporarily assigned to a project and then transferred back to their pool. Pools are accompanied by mentors, i.e., coaches, who proactively support employees in their development. Managers can be retrained to become mentors, project managers, scrum masters, and product owners. Picture 3.6. Role. Many roles that have been known for a long time form the pillars of professional multi-project management. The MPM staff unit is responsible for the platform and ensures an ever higher standard. Project leaders, scrum masters, and product owners are the key figures for every project. Risk managers navigate through the heaviest of storms. Mentors promote the qualification of open-thinking experts. More and more organizations explicitly condemn people with status and power from their ranks in order to become versatile and performant. Here, each and every individual is required to strengthen this cleanup process with civil courage. Picture 4.1. Project classes. Risk classes. Every project is risky. Otherwise, it would not be a project. Depending on their severity, risks can be divided into 4 classes. Dangerous A risks, medium B risks, small to medium C, and hardly dangerous D risks. A project with many A risks thus becomes an A projector, a project of risk class A. A catalog of 10 questions enables such a rough determination of the class right at the beginning of the project, before an exact evaluation could be carried out. Picture 4.2. Risk management. Project management is a special form of risk management. Because there are projects only because of the risks. Risks are differentiated by their probability of occurrence and their impact on costs and duration. Both values classify a risk in the risk portfolio, mostly in a 5x5 matrix. The product of both values provides the risk value. This is an amount of money or time that you can put aside, for example, in case a risk materializes. All risk values of all risks are summed up for a project. You buffer a project. The aim is for a project to cope with deviations that are within the identified buffer corridors. Picture 4.3. Risk and project poker. In order to be able to prioritize projects quickly, the method of planning poker or project poker can be used. It is also suitable for quantifying risks. Projects and risks are sorted into the project or risk portfolio using this method. Such a portfolio is a 5x5 matrix. At least 2 coordinates are required for positioning. One after the other, both are queried in the poker group. Each group member raises a number card between 0 and 5. A mean value is calculated from all reports. In this way, priorities can be set very quickly. Picture 4.4. Top risks. There is a whole range of standard risks that repeatedly cause projects to fail, even if you have known about them for a long time. The reasons for this are a lack of reflection and intelligence. You can recognize them symptomatically in politics, power and status behavior that try to compensate for the underlying inferiority due to a lack of skills. Because of the immense fear of being exposed, management that has transparency as its primary goal is manipulatively subverted. There you will find the causes for the frequent failure of innovative ideas and measures. MPM in particular is taking a completely different, complementary direction here. Picture 4.5. Time management. Structuring a calendar in a uniform manner is a management process. You define spaces within which something specific happens, and exactly what the respective room was designed for. They are themed rooms that not only indicate when to devote attention to a topic, but also for how long. In Agile projects, this is called the time box. Each room has its own color that corresponds to a specific role or project. Red could stand for auditing, blue for an IT project. Fixed project days can be planned across organizations. Picture 4.6. Lean management. A modern, professional economy and production would be unthinkable without lean, transparent processes. The engineers of this world know this. However, the average organizational design is literally hundreds of millions of years behind evolutionarily. A strict lean management program is used to gradually make new from old. The beacons are transparency, innovation, openness, and cooperation. In this process of change, the introduction of MPM probably plays the most decisive role. Because this is exactly where not only the central management body is located, but also the only place where things can be structured and prioritized transparently.